Hey everyone, it's Colin from Heal Green Heritage again. Today I'm going to tell you about a piece of software called Geophoto, which is a useful way to look at your photographs by location. You can use it on your own PC to look at your own family photos, or here I'm going to show you how it's useful to have a look at the library. Now, I said in earlier videos, I've tried really hard to keep the software that you need to install to a minimum, and you don't actually have to install anything to look at the library. You can view it on a phone, on a tablet, on a desktop, on an Apple Macintosh. All of those, most things will be able to display the content in the museum because it's kept fairly simple. There's just photos and documents and only a few simple formats that are compatible on most devices. To do this, you have to install two pieces of software, and neither of the installs are that quick and easy. So if you're not technical, you probably won't want to give this a go, but you might want to just see the software. Particularly the Geophoto, you only need to install that on your own PC to see that yourself. So here we are sharing the screen. Just show you the software first. Whet your appetite or not to whether you can be bothered to install it. So what happens is Geophoto, it's a Microsoft product. It's free. You do have to install it and download it from the App Store. I'll show you how to do that in a bit, but I'll show you what it does first. So here's a map. Let's come up with a Google map. It's showing a satellite image of the area. You've got the airport, you've got Heal Green over here. And what it's done, so I said you can store information on the back of the photo, and I've been writing details on all our photos describing what they show, where they were taken, when they were taken, copyright information and things like that. You can also store other information. It's called metadata. And one of the other useful pieces of metadata you can store on a photo, most cameras these days or your phone can do it. The options are often switched off for privacy reasons, and you might have to enable geolocation again on your phone. But if you do that, it stamps each photo with where it was took, and it's very accurate within a few meters, probably more accurate than that, but certainly within a few meters. And then when you look at the photos using this software, you can see them displayed on a map. So here's all the photos in the area. You can see there's some at the airport, some down here at Style Mill that I've taken, and most of them centered around Heal Green. And if I zoom in, you'll see it starts to split those out into smaller groups and scatters them across the screen there and shows you a little bit more accurate. And you keep zooming in and get more and more accurate with where it displays the photos along a road. So let's randomly pick this point on the road here, perhaps. I'll just wait till it comes up, just in case it's not going to display them all. If I click on that, you can open up a little window and just go through the thumbnails. I'm going to look at them all at once, so you can just see them along the top here. Now, sometimes because it's an internet drive, it takes a few seconds to load them all. But on your PC, you'll find they probably come up very quickly. As it happens, that one's probably not a very good one to have chosen because they're all recent photos. But what I've done is I've taken all the old photos, and using this software, even if you don't have the facility on your phone or your camera that will stamp the photos with the geolocation, you can add it afterwards with this software, and I can show you how to do that as well in a minute with a photo. So here's some photos from near the station. This picture is of a crash, a lorry that crashed. I think it's in 1979 when this happened. This is the list of the photos that are taken around that area. And so it's quite a handy way of being able to look at things, a bit like the hover map, where you can look at different articles based on their location. Now, one thing I've not been able to do with this, unfortunately, I think you can put a geolocation on a document, but I haven't yet found a piece of software that will allow you to show both photographs and documents displayed on a map like that. If anybody knows of anything, please do let me know. That doesn't require, well, as long as it's, even if it is paid for, but I'd rather it was a free piece of software is what we're really looking for, that people can download themselves. So then you can have a quick look through the photos you've captured. I've been taking a few pictures further up the road, knowing that there might be an article on those shots later on. Here we are, stood at the station, and the various grocers and old photos there. Okay, so that's how that works. So I'll come back and show you how to use it a bit more in a minute. Well, I probably ought to show you how you install it. Now, there's two pieces of software so that you can access the library. The first one is you're going to have to download. This is the normal library view here. This is how you would normally see the library on the web. And you can see the files and the folders on there. We're not actually stood in the directory there that you normally see. I was stood at the top where I can see everything. If you've watched some of the previous videos, you know there's different areas of the library behind the scenes. So that's the screen you'd normally see to start with. And that's how it looks on the web. But you can download a special piece of software from Google. If you go to this web address displayed at the top here, it's a download screen, again, free software. It's not very obvious where you have to go to pick up this piece of software. So I wouldn't have thought you had to choose this option, but you have to go to this one on the screen, scroll down a little bit from the top, and then you get to this bit where it says for teams, it says learn more, which again is an obvious thing to have to pick up on. And then it takes you into these descriptions here, and you have to get down to number 5 here. I won't click on it now because I don't want it to reinstall. You click on that to install the drive on your desktop, and you've got a couple of options here. If you have a Windows Mac system, you can do it a version on there or a Windows version. I think you have to have Windows 7 at least on your PC for it to work. Word of warning, it takes an awfully long time to install. It's not the actual install of the software process. What it then has to do is build an index to the data on the Google Drive. It takes quite a while to build all that data, and it slows your PC up. There'll be a number of restarts you'll have to do before you'll think, gosh, this isn't working very well. Everything is hanging on your PC for a couple of goes. Be patient, but persevere. On about the third restart of your PC, it suddenly goes okay, and then it works more or less as well as any other drive. And what it does, I can't really explain that properly, however, what happens is then if you go into your file explorer on your PC, it's added the your Google Drive as if it's an extra drive on your PC. So in my case, it's added it as the G drive. And then you can click on here and look at things on this drive just as you were on over the web. But the advantage then is you can use this second piece of software, Geophoto, or other pieces of software like maybe you've got Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel, or any other pieces of software to look at the photos or documents. You can use those instead of the default things it uses on the web that load for free, and they load perfectly well, but there can be occasions when it's easier to see things on your PC. So an example might be if you wanted to see the animations on the PowerPoint slides I've done, you need to have Microsoft PowerPoint, and then you'd have to install this or either you've got to download it off the Google Drive or install this, so you're looking at as if it's a drive on your PC. And then PowerPoint will work with it and show you all the animations on the slides. If you just look at a version on the web, you'll have to load like the PDF version, which doesn't do the animations. Or if it was an Excel spreadsheet, and there is one, I'll show that in another video for the timeline. If you click on that, and when you're looking at it through the web, it will attempt to load Google Sheets, which is fine, but it's a little bit different than Excel. And if you're used to Excel as a way of moving around a spreadsheet, it's a bit confusing at first. I guess it's getting used to. But if you load it through the drive, the virtual drive it creates for you, it'll open with Excel as normal, and then it'll be a familiar interface to you. Anyway, the next one was, how did you load Geophoto? So you have to go to another screen. If you type get Geophoto install, it's a Microsoft app. So you have to sign into Microsoft and download it through there. It's free, so it doesn't cost you any money. That one's a bit easier to install, but again, it does take a little while to sync with the photos. So let's go back now to looking at Geophoto. I'll throw these windows away. I'm not too bothered about those for the purposes of this demonstration. I'll open Geophoto again, and I'll show you what else you do to stamp a photo. Now, at the moment, it's only showing a screen here that's covering a small area of the country. You might have photos from all over the world. I have, from holiday photos, and it'll open up with the whole sort of Google Earth view of the world, and then you can zoom in on different parts of the world and find your photos. Now, I find it a much easier way to find old holiday snaps than anything else. So I showed you there how you went into something and had a look. You double click on it, it opens up a window. If you click again, you get a set of options here. about what you can do, and you can display all the photos there, or mark them up, or play them in a little slideshow. You can also add zoom to a location, or eventually add a location. So if I go to this icon down here where it says pictures without geotag. So as I say, some cameras have the facility switched on, some don't. I haven't gone through and done this for some time, so this might take a little while to load here, because there are some pictures in the library that don't at the moment have a geotag on them. And as you can see, it's obviously having a long think here because it's not displaying any of them. Oh, there we go, all of a sudden, all come along. And you see there's lots of black and white ones here. Obviously, the older photos tend not to have them on. It also depends. The Paint Shop Pro software I showed you requires it to it removes the geotags. It's quite an old piece of software, so maybe newer pieces of software are okay and don't lose the geotags. It's quite common when you load another app, if you save it back, it loses the tags and you have to apply the tags again. One of those tags is the location information. So anyway, let's say we've got a photo here. Here's one I recognise, the Esso station. Let's open that up so you can see that properly. So there's a picture somebody's kindly given us of the Esso station. I haven't actually put a tag on it at the moment. If I then go geotag, it goes to a map. Now, where it's gone is probably where I last tagged a photo on outward drive. Just zoom out a bit, move over here. This will be at the Co-op, won't it? That's where the Esso station was. So I'll zoom in a little bit. If I put it there, say, if I double click there, I'll make sure it's on the same dot, and then do save. That will save that photo with that location information on it. If I come back out of there, oops, I've gone too far really. But if I go back into Geophoto now, hopefully, when we go to that location, the Esso station should be included in that list of photos there on the main road on Finney Lane. Let's just see, zoom in a bit more. There's the Co-op. Is it going to show it? Doesn't look like it's there, does it? Moment, maybe it's just taking a little moment to work them out. Maybe it's in this list. It's not there. It's very exciting. Will it be here? Oh, there it is. It just took a moment to pick it up. So there you go. It's put that in the list at that location. That's across the road. That's Dudley's old house practice, or Dudley Ashworth, or now it became the Beach Hotel. And now that's the one that's going to be taken down to make way for some more houses. Same location stood there when I took a picture for the then and now shot of Beach Parade. Okay, that's probably everything for today. Those are quite hard to install. You really don't give it a go unless you know what you're doing. But it is a really useful facility for looking at your own photos. So next time, see you again. I'll probably go through the timeline next time, but it's useful to have the comparison for how to load the virtual drive to explain some of the features of the timeline. So see you again soon. Bye for now.